Welcome back to the exclusive Fantasy Network. And folks, it is officially playoff time. 7 teams left. Single elimination. This is the week where lineups get exposed, projections get humbled, and managers either rise as legends or watch their championship dreams evaporate by Sunday afternoon.
Chuck, I'm telling you right now, this is the most unpredictable playoff field we've had in years. You got a defending champ sneaking in as the 7 seed. You got a dynasty champ trying to run the table again. You got cousins trying to fight each other over fantasy football. And Boye sitting back, iced feet on the table, hoping none of his players get hurt during his bye. This is pressure football.
Absolutely. And before we get into the main event, let's talk about that lone toilet bowl matchup. Type Stuff versus Soul Knights. 2 teams that were fighting like crazy for that final playoff spot, and both folded right at the finish line.
Look, both these dudes are dangerous enough to beat someone, but inconsistent enough to lose to anybody. This toilet bowl game, it's gonna be sloppy. I'm talking fumbles, twists, random bench guys, scoring 25, you know how it goes in these loser brackets.
And they need to stay alive. Because remember, last place pays shipping for the belt. That's public humiliation. That is the walk of shame.
Soul Knights, Type Stuff, y'all ain't playing for glory, you playing for dignity.
All right, enough appetizers. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's dive right into the spiciest storyline. Candy versus Merc. 2 cousins, 2 competitors, 2 people who, if you told them to compete in who can blink the fastest, they'd try to kill each other.
Chuck, this matchup is personal. These 2 been rivals since they started walking. If Candy wins, Merc is hearing it every holiday, every cookout, every birthday party. If Merc wins, Candy not showing her face in the group chat until September.
And week 6 Candy wiped the floor with him. 186 to 108. That's not even competitive. That's domination.
That's old news, Chuck. Things have changed, injuries have changed, momentum has changed. This matchup isn't that matchup.
Let's talk lineups then. Candy's got Dak Prescott, who's facing a Vikings defense that has 5 straight games with at least 5 sacks. That's terrifying for any fantasy QB.
I agree Dak is in real danger. That Minnesota pass rush is ridiculous. Linebacker Eric Wilson has been hunting. But here's what you're ignoring. Dak has been top 5 in fantasy scoring over the last month. He doesn't need a clean pocket, he just needs opportunities. That's why I think Dak does enough.
Enough? Sure. But she needs star production because her receivers are falling apart. Drake London, PCL sprain. Day-to-day. Marvin Harrison Jr., heel injury. Already ruled out last week. She's held together with duct tape.
And yet, she has Bijan Robinson, who has one of the highest projected floors this week. Over 100 rushing yards projected. He's matchup-proof. Bijan is the one player in this matchup I trust more than anyone.
Meanwhile, Merc comes in with Lamar Jackson, Mr. MVP caliber. 3 touchdowns last week. Career-high 37 passing touchdowns this season. He's on fire.
Lamar is the biggest X factor in this entire matchup. He doesn't give you 18, he gives you either 11 or 40. That's what wins playoff games. Merc has ceiling, Candy has stability. That's the philosophical battle here.
Don't forget, T. Higgins might be out. Concussion protocol again. 2nd time this season. That's a massive hit to Merc's consistency.
Sure, but Ashton Janty? He's volatile but explosive. Merc doesn't need a floor guy, he needs bright red spike weeks. His roster is built for that.
So what's your pick?
I'm taking Merc. Ceiling wins championships.
And I'm taking Candy. The injuries scare me, but Bijan plus Dak plus a rivalry edge, I think she pulls it out. On to our next matchup. Dusty G versus AJ. This matchup right here, this is history repeating itself. Dusty beat AJ twice already this season. Both times, Dusty controlled the pace of the matchup.
But now, AJ's coming off a massive Week 14 win against Dylan Pickles. He didn't sneak in, he took that playoff spot. He earned it.
Yes, but Dusty has Christian McCaffrey coming off a bye against the Tennessee Titans. Do you understand how dangerous that is? Tennessee is bottom 5 in fantasy points allowed to running backs. CMC is licking his chops.
And James Cook? The Bills finally figured out how to use him. 30 touches last week, receiving game involvement, red zone carries. He's projected for nearly 15 points, and I think he beats that projection.
AJ does have Joe Burrow, projected 20.4, and historically very strong against Baltimore.
But Chuck, this game is about Jamar Chase. With the possibility of T. Higgins out, Chase's target share skyrockets. The Bengals already force-feed him, now they're going to double-feed him. If AJ wins, it's because Chase drops 30.
I agree, but AJ's path to victory is razor thin. He needs perfect performances. Dusty just needs normal performances.
Dusty's team has been drifting though. He peaked earlier in the season, that matters. AJ has momentum. AJ is the more desperate, hungry team.
Dusty has the best player in fantasy. Desperation doesn't beat Christian McCaffrey.
Sometimes it does. Because fantasy is ransom, Chuck, you know that. You've lost matchups because some WR3 scored 2 touchdowns.
That's fair.
So who do you have?
Dusty. I'm not picking against a guy who's beat him twice.
And I'm taking AJ, defending champ, hot at the right time, upset incoming.
Next up, we have Dylan Pickles versus Acknowledge Me. Dylan had that 8-game win streak. He dominated midseason. But without CeeDee Lamb, that's a massive downgrade.
Massive. Lamb has been elite. Elite route separation, elite contested catch rate, elite usage. If he sits, Dylan's ceiling plummets.
But he still has Kyren Williams' RB1 in efficiency. Projected 16 plus, and Devontae Adams, 14 touchdowns. He's points every time he steps onto the field.
I hear you, but let's talk about Acknowledge Me. Because Josh Allen has 135 fantasy points in his last 4 games. That's not just hot, that's lava.
True. Allen can single-handedly win a playoff game.
He also has Saquon Barkley high volume, receiving work, goal line usage. Barkley's role is perfect for the playoffs. And Brock Bowers, a top tight end all season. This is not a fluke team sneaking in. This guy really has some weapons.
But Dylan has experience. He's a dynasty champ. He knows how to manage pressure weeks.
Pressure doesn't protect you from Josh Allen dropping 38 on your head, my guy.
Dylan has higher floor. Acknowledge Me has higher ceiling.
And the playoffs are about ceiling. Always.
So who do you have?
I'm taking Acknowledge Me. Too hot right now.
And I'm taking Dylan. Even without Lamb, experience matters. He survives.
Chuck, this playoff field is ridiculous. There is no safe favorite this year. Every matchup has a real path for the underdog to win, and that's why these picks aren't easy. But let me break down why I chose who I chose.
Go ahead, because you've been talking crazy all episode. Let's hear the logic behind the chaos.
First winner, Merc City. And here's why. Candy's roster is too banged up. Drake London, PCL. Starvin Marvin, heel. Dak is walking into a Minnesota defense that has been terrorizing quarterbacks with 5 straight games of 5 sacks. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson is on fire. Merc has the higher ceiling, and in the playoffs, ceiling wins. Lamar alone can give him a 15 to 20 point advantage at QB. That's why I'm rolling with Merc.
Fair. High ceiling, but high risk too.
Second pick, I've got AJ. Now look, Dusty's beaten him twice already, but this is a different AJ Burrows matchup versus Baltimore isn't easy, but Burrow plays his best football against elite teams. And with T. Higgins possibly being out, Jamar Chase is about to get force-fed like a Thanksgiving turkey. AJ has momentum. Dusty's team has been slipping towards the end of the season. That's why AJ finally flips the script.
That one's bold, but I respect the logic.
Third winner, Acknowledge Me. This one's simple. Josh Allen is the hottest player in fantasy football. 135 fantasy points in the last 4 games is absurd. He's the kind of QB who wins playoff matchups by himself. Dylan will possibly be missing CeeDee Lamb, and that's a massive hole in his ceiling. Devontae Adams and Kyren Williams are great, but Acknowledge Me has the most dangerous weapon on the field. He's peaking at the right time. That's why I've got him pulling the upset.
All right, now my turn. Because your picks are all vibes and no stability. Here's why my winners make sense.
Let's hear your safe picks, Professor Chuck.
First winner, Candy Girl. Yes, she's injured. Yes, Merc has Lamar. But Candy has something Merc doesn't. Reliability. Bijan Robinson's projection is one of the highest of the entire week. His floor is elite. And Dak, even under pressure, has been a top 5 fantasy QB for the last month. People forget he's still producing. Candy beat Merc by 78 points last time. 78! That's not an accident. Her team matches up well against his roster type. She survives.
You're trusting injuries too much, Chuck.
I'm trusting production history. There's a difference.
Go ahead.
Second pick, Dusty. Look, AJ made an incredible comeback, but fantasy is about consistency. Dusty has Christian McCaffrey. That's all I should have to say. But I'll add this. Titan defense is a bottom tier against running backs. CMC might put up 30. James Cook has his most stable usage of the entire season. Dusty's floor is too high. AJ needs a perfect week to win. Dusty just needs an average one. That's why he takes it.
That one actually makes sense. I still disagree, but go ahead.
Third winner, Dylan Pickles. Yes, the Lamb concussion hurts. But Dylan has experience. He's a dynasty champion. He knows how to make the right start-sit decisions under pressure. Kyren Williams is as consistent as they come. Devontae Adams has 14 touchdowns. And the biggest thing, Acknowledge Me is too dependent on Josh Allen. One turnover-heavy game, one fluky weather matchup, one red zone fumble or interception, and it all collapses. Dylan has a higher floor across the board. That's why he moves on.
So there you have it, Merc. AJ, Acknowledge Me for me.
And Candy, Dusty, Dylan for me.
Somebody's bold, somebody's boring,
Somebody's reckless. Somebody's realistic.
and somebody's season is ending this week. These matchups are no joke. Managers are sweating, projections are lying, and somebody's entire season ends on Monday night.
But somebody else takes the next step. Somebody else gets 1 week closer to claiming the ultimate prize in fantasy football.
The battle for the belt is officially underway.
And by next week, the exclusive league will look very, very different.